send them prayers up. And then the blessings come down. Yeah. Let's get it. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. What I pray for the most is that you understand. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. And what I pray for the most is that you understand. If you say you're a king, you gotta have the standards. I say that I pray when I don't have the answers. Don't know the way, then prayer has to come in. It's okay to pray and don't ask for nothing. Ready for war, but I pray for peace. Know the book says, don't let your prayers cease. Pray for the strength to pray for enemies. Pray to forget these childhood memories. Put on these 11s, it's the wrong shoes any day. Cowboys team, man, you're gonna lose anyway. Don't come for me, sorry, I don't got a team. Can't be MLK if I never said I got a dream. I pray to Yahweh that he bless you. I pray that you pass, cause life will test you. I pray on the days that things are stressful. Remember, Israel to God is something special. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. What I pray for the most is that you understand. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. And what I pray for the most is that you understand. Yahweh Shah came so he could feed his people. Solomon prayed that he could lead his people. Wise as he was, he didn't see the evil. I pray for the day Yahweh frees the people. Babylon the Great breaking all walls down. Kanye's song, When It All Falls Down. I pray every day, that's a part of me, that we all celebrate like classic R&B. Cool in this gang, there's so many speakers. I pray that you learn, we have so many teachers. I pray for the kingdom, cause it needs to come. I pray for Isaiah 14:1. Always be thankful, what my lady said. Don't ask for much, just my daily bread. I pray on the days that things are stressful. Remember, Israel to God is something special. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. What I pray for the most is that you understand. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. And what I pray for the most is that you understand. We send the prayers up, and then the blessings come down. Prayer's y'all weapon, y'all. Make sure you pray every single day. Don't just ask for things, but pray to the Most High to deliver us.
Walking on waves, Abba, I give you the praise. I know you don't make mistakes. I should be dead in my grave because of your grace. I'm walking on waves. Nigga, he'll I keep the faith. He keeping me every day. He never let me get away, so what can I say? I'm walking away, yeah. You helped me through the impossible, God. Got me over every obstacle, God. I was a second from giving up. I kept my chin up and now I'm unstoppable, God. Though he slay me, yet still I would trust him. In a faith that I won't leave it for nothing. Took me through all of that fire, now I made a goal and I gotta thank him for the oven. So when I'm looking like giving up, Yahweh Shai said it's him or us. When it was all on the line, you sent your son to us just to pick us up. That's the reason why I give him praise. I don't hold it down, I'ma send it up. Now I'm two stepping on water like I got the baking soda. Still waves, Abba, I give you the praise. I know you don't make mistakes. I should be dead in my grave because of your grace. I'm walking on waves. Nigga, he'll I keep the faith. He keeping me every day. He never let me get away, so what can I say? I'm walking away, yeah. I'ma go hard, I don't care what it takes. Cause he took me out of that mental condition when I was still busting them plays. It was all white when I bought it, but after you rock it, it turned into beige. Give it a minute, the air dry, when it's done, then it's back to the J's. So what I'm looking like giving up, Yahweh Shai said it's him or us. When it was all up on the line, you sent your son to us just to pick us up. That's the reason why I give him praise. I don't hold it down, I'ma send him up. Now I'm two stepping on water like I got the bigger soda. Still waves, Abba, I give you the praise. I know you don't make mistakes. I should be dead in my grave because of your grace. I'm walking on waves. Thinking he'll I keep the faith. He keeping me every day. He never let me get away. So what can I say?
I'm thinking of Father. Yeah, no capper, but he really stepping. Ain't sneezing, but he give me blessings. It's gangsta, I know not to test it. No way. He took me from out of the dirt. Really, my picture should be on the shirt. He giving me more than what I deserve. Gotta have a mighty God just to shine like this. Watch him do wonders, not talking my wrist. Fight with my mind, no need to use fists. Unless it's a demon, he get in the biz. And I'm thankful for what he's done for me. Holy scripture keep me company. Not praising God, they no border me.
Walking on waves. Abba, I give you the praise. I know you don't make mistakes. I should be dead in my grave because of your grace. I'm walking on waves. Thinking he'll I keep the faith. He keeping me every day. He never let me get away. So what can I say? I'm walking on waves.
Abanawa, Shabashemai, Kwadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakotka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayam, Lathananawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Chaubwathnawa, Kasalachnawa, Chaubwathinawa, Wala'a, Tabia Anawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapa Arath, La'ai Walamyam, Aman.
Yes, Shalom family, Shalom, all praise to the Most High. Pray everybody's doing well. All right, all praise to the Most High. Forgive me, brothers and sisters. Forgive me, please. Yesterday I was supposed to do the class yesterday, but something came up. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it. Nonetheless, I'm here now, right? In the spirit of the Most High in Christ. So, without further ado, we're just gonna do the class, right? I'm praying everybody is having a blessed day, right? Getting close to the weekend. Shabbat's coming. So we should be looking forward to that. All praise to the Most High, man. When you come in, just hit the like button, right? Share, like, and share, so other people get a chance to see, right? So the class is called Work Together or Die Alone. And what it's talking about is pretty much self-evident that we as a people, we got to work together. And I'm saying that in the capacity as husband and wife, man and woman, right? Because if we don't work together, the only option is death and destruction. Now, we know we got external forces that's fighting against us. We know that. We know this walk is not easy. So we kind of expect that. Mashiach told us that already, right? So we shouldn't be surprised by that. Hang on a second, Khan. We shouldn't be surprised by that, brothers and sisters, right? So without further ado, let's just get straight to it. Share my screen. My volume is good. Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if my volume is good, if you can hear me. All right. Just give me 1 second. All right. All praise to the Most High. All right. Okay, Khan. So, the topic is work together. Work together as in what? As in a union, a marriage, right? Because As we know, as it was in the beginning, the Most High is the one who set us together, man and woman, as a union. So that's what he wants us to be. He wants us to be together. More so now than ever, because in these last days, I'm telling you now, brothers and sisters, it's easier to say, yo, I'm going to do this by myself, but it's really harder. Now, I know none of us is perfect. The scriptures tell us that we're not perfect. We're flesh and blood, right? So it's tempting to say that I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to do it by myself, so on and so forth. But really and truly, it's best if you have a partner to do things with. Now, notwithstanding, if the Most High put the spirit on you and you're by yourself, well, so be it, right? Don't force things before it's time, because you also got to prove somebody before you jump into a relationship with them, especially now in these last days, right? For both sisters and for brothers, especially for sisters too, man, because our sisters, the Most High, even though the Most High make you the weaker vessel, that doesn't mean that you're weaker, meaning inferior. It doesn't mean that. It just means that to your husband, you're gonna bow down to, like it tells you in the book of Genesis, right? Your will shall be towards your husband. So you're kind of weak for the man. And as a result of that, a lot of our sisters have made bad decisions, right? Because they're going off the emotion and spirits and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Emotional vibe, so to speak. And the truth. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about outside in the world, because we already know our people is lost. But we're talking in the truth also. A lot of sisters have made wrong decisions or bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? We're going to touch on that also. And I'm telling you, it's best if before you make a bad decision, it's best if you just stay in the spirit of the Most High in Christ. I know it's hard, because as a woman, you need protection. The Most High created you to be with a man for a holy union. So I know our sisters are going to be yearning. They need protection. They want companionship, which is only right. The thing is, we got to use proper discernment when we are proving one another, so we don't end up like people like Pop the Balloon, Israelite version, so to speak. Sounds crazy, but a lot of stuff goes on in Israel. You just don't hear about it, right? Hold on one second. I believe Captain is on. Let me just bring him in. Shalom, Captain Zakari, you there?
Shalom, Adawan. Yabashim Shabrakatham. Could I be heard?
Yes, sir. So your volume just a little bit low. Brothers and sisters, you can hear Captain Zakaria. Put a 1 in the chat.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. How I sound now? Do I sound better?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a little bit louder. Yeah. Khan, so the topic, Zach, is is work together or die alone. I'm talking about we in the truth, and we as a community, period. In the truth, out the truth, because we all rolled up in this, man. You know why we rolled up in it? Because even the prophets were sent into captivity. So we can't be like, well, you know what? I'm an Israelite. I keep the commandments. I keep those law, statutes, and commandments. And so therefore, yes, the Lord will have favor on us, but we still in captivity. We still in captivity. So we can't look down on our brothers and sisters and feel we better than them. We're better than them in the spirit that we know right from wrong, and we're striving to do the right thing. But we're still in captivity. We're still facing these curses, right? So this goes for brothers and sisters in captivity and out. So the holy union, that's what we need to work on, right? Man and woman, so we can face the coming destruction. That's low. It's already here at our feet. So I'm gonna start off real quick. Let's get the book of Genesis, how it was in the beginning, right? That's what we should strive for. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 18. If you want to read, Zach, you can read. If not, let me know. I'll just go through it.
All right, I'll read it. Hold on, wait 1 second. Give me 1 second. I don't want them. Okay. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, in verse 18, and it reads, "And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him.
Right. So in the Most High's eternal wisdom, he knew that we need somebody to be with. That's why he said he will make a help me for us, right? Read on.
Verse 19. Out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof.
Read on.
Verse 20. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found any helpmeet for him.
Right.
Verse
So
21.
every animal had his mate, so to speak, right? And the Lord knew that it was right. So it's only right that Adam get a mate also, right? Read on.
Verse 21. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Verse 22. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man.
Now there's different levels to that, right? But we're not going to get into that today. That's not the topic. Dealing with the rib and coming out of the flesh and so on and so forth. The topic is that bottom line, the Most High made a helpmeet for Adam. That's the bottom line, right?
Can I just say something?
Yes, Lord. Go ahead.
If you want more understanding on that, you can read Tobit 8, I believe it is. Tobit 8, and I think it's somewhere around there. In your own time, y'all could read that, and it'll help you understand what this means. The last two verses.
Go
Feel
ahead.
like y'all don't want.
Yeah, read on down. Read 24 and 25.
23. I'm gonna start at 23. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man."
Khan in Hebrew, that's Isha, right?
Khan.
That's a woman. So flesh of my flesh, meaning she is me, right? And for that reason, that's why a man got to be the leader, because the woman came from the man. The Apostle Paul told us that. So it's only right that we have to lead and guide our woman, right? Because if we're not leading and doing the right thing, it's only right that the woman not going to follow us. Not saying it's right, meaning they should rebel, but it's like cause and effect, right? If you get drunk and you get in a car, there's a possibility you could crash. That's cause and effect. So when these women rebel, it's a cause and effect type of thing. You can't be like, well, why is she not listening to me? Well, hold on, bro. Or to start it off right, are you in order? Because women, they sense order. They sense when a brother, quote unquote, got it together and he's walking in the right path. They gravitate towards that. But if you off and you expect your woman to follow you, nah, bro, not now you what they call delulu. Now you in delusion, right? So we got to be in order, because we have to lead our women. Our women came from us, so it's more the responsibility is more so on the man. That's why when the Most High came in the garden through Christ, right? He called who? Adam first. The heavier punishment went on Adam, because he's considered the head. And we're going to get into that, though, right? This is just a warm-up. We just get into how it was supposed to be in the beginning. That's how, this is our example, because what the scripture says, the things written before time is for our edification. So we got to hearken back. You can't look around now and think that you're going to get edification from what you see around here on social media. You're not going to get that. You got to go back to how it was to try to build a blueprint on how you want it to be, if that makes sense, right? So verse 24.
Verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
So you're commanded, the Lord telling us that even from in Genesis, the Lord told us that we're supposed to be independent, supposed to leave mommy and daddy and start your own. There's a saying within our community, God bless the child that have his own. Is that right? You're supposed to start your own family.
Gone.
You understand? Now we understand living in these times financially, it might behoove you to um make sure you're financially, mentally, and spiritually stable before you start. But let's be honest, a lot of us wasn't. We was just young and wild running the streets. You know what I'm saying? We thought we was grown because we slept, we sleeping with women and sisters and this, that, the third. And the women think they grown because they got a little boyfriend here and there. But as you see, that's not how it was supposed to be in the beginning. Right?
Another one.
Verse 25.
Verse 25. And they were both naked, and man, Salakia, they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
Gone. So again, that's going into a whole nother topic. We're not going to touch on that. We're just talking about how in the beginning, the Lord created the woman to be a helpmeet for the man, and the Lord ordained that. Look, when because the Most High already knew throughout the generations later down when man began to populate the earth, and the population start to grow. It's just a natural thing that after the father and the mother have the child grow up, he got to branch out and start his own. It's only natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we see that marriage is honorable, right? So from there, let's go to the book of Hebrews. Let's get Hebrews 13. Everybody should know these scriptures, right? This is what was told to us from the beginning. Hebrews 13, start at verse 4.
Come on, that's the book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
Right. You can't be defiled. What does that mean? Defiled. The bed is undefiled. Meaning whatever you when you and your wife come into union, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in biblical times, we would had what is known as a marriage certificate. I believe it's called a ketubah, right?
Con with tokens of virginity. Mm-hmm.
Right. In addition to the tokens of virginity, that's another thing too. You would write a marriage contract. You would pay a dowry to the bride's father, right? To the woman's father, right? Because it was a big thing to get married. You got to make sure you have money. You couldn't be as they call it, a brokey and get married back then. Hell no. Father looking at you like, yo, bro, how you gonna take care of my daughter? Right? So it was an honorable thing. And also when you consummate the marriage, that's the point we're going to get into, the consummation of the marriage, right? That's when it's talking about the bed is undefiled. You got to consummate the marriage, and whatever y'all do behind closed doors, whatever y'all do, that's what y'all do. Sex is beautiful when y'all married because through procreation comes life. It also goes to says, but whoremongers and adulterers, the Most High will judge. Whoremongers meaning you're running around having sex with other people who are outside of the marriage, who you have not added to the body, meaning that if you want to have another wife or whatever the case may be, do it lawfully.
Con.
You ain't no player. There's no players club in the Bible. There's no players club in biblical terms, so to speak. All that is whoremongering and being an adulterer for men and for women, right? You want to say something, King?
No, I was just gonna reiterate that when it says whoremongers, that's a man that's laying around with multiple women and not making them his wife. That's what he's doing. So that's a sin. You can't do that.
Side piece.
Right, a side piece, right?
There's no side pieces, and it's either she a wife or she a concubine. You know what I'm saying?
Sex is marriage or sex is sin. It's one or the other.
That's right. That's right. But we got to break that down on many levels too, because even if you're just saying, okay, sex is marriage, yes, that the consummation is marriage, but you also have to do your husbandly duties. You got to provide for the woman. You got to make sure she's good. You got to make sure that if you have children with her, you got to take care of her. Come on, bro. It's not just laying down with her and sex is marriage and that's it. Israelites love to do that. That's part of marriage.
Right.
Part of it. Go ahead.
Right. Because you do, like you said, Adawan, you still gotta do your husbandly duties. If you're gonna lay down with this woman has to be your wife. And if there's kids, you have to take care of her kids. You have to do your responsibility. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna just lay with her, boom, boom, and that's just that's whoremongering. That's what that is. You cannot do that. Salaki Adawan.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So we don't want to diverge and get into another topic whether you can have multiple wives. No, brother, only one. We're not. This is not the show for that. We're not talking about that. Tonight's class is not about that. We could do another class on that. We're talking
Right.
about marriage being honorable and how us as Israelites, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native American, we need each other. That's the topic of tonight's class, right?
Work together or die alone.
Or
That's a
die
fact.
alone. Yeah, and a lot of brothers and sisters are gonna die alone. Don't let that passport bro crap fool you either, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Dudes be running around and stuff because if you're not living honorable, what the hell is a passport dude but a whoremonger with a passport?
That's all. That's it.
You understand what I'm saying? And what the heck is a woman without a husband? She's just a baby mama if she's not under the subjection of her husband or it's not with the children, the father of her children. You got to have some type of discipline and structure according to the scriptures.
Con.
That's why it says, but whoremongers and adulterers the Most High will judge. That's just what it is, man. We need each other. Now, we understand in today's terms, we have blended families and so on and so forth. Okay. If a man puts away a woman for whatever reason, or when you come into this truth, and you're no longer with the husband or the father of your children, that's where mercy comes in. That's where mercy in Christ comes in because we're not supposed to be having 2 or 3 baby daddies as women.
Con.
As a man, you're not supposed to be dealing with different women having multiple baby mamas. You understand? But
Con.
coming out of that world that you were in, the Lord will have mercy on you and forgive you. If that's when you came into this truth, you just so happened to have multiple children. Okay, so be it. None of us is perfect, not even myself. But if you pray to the Most High, you ask for forgiveness, and the Lord join you in spirit, right? And you get married to a new man, or you know what I mean? You're a new person in Christ, and you get married. So be it. Now you have to live your life accordingly, moving forward, because you're not that old person no more, right?
Con. That's a fact. Con.
And as men, we got to love our wives because we chose to be with them, right? Let me get that in Ephesians 5.
Con on the one.
Telling you, bro, it's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be rough, man.
Pray for grace, man. We gotta pray for grace, man.
That's
Cause
it. I mean, we could, it's easy to sit here and be like, well, the sister, she had a baby before. I don't want her.
right,
Bruh, it's easy for you to say that and point the finger, right? But what if the sister, she was in the world and she repented?
right. You know that old saying, the one when you point one finger at one person, there's 3 or 4 fingers pointing back at you, right? Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not like the sister's a repented Israelite and she's running around having babies by different Israelites. Now, that's off. That's wicked. Now, that we got to put away. That's how you put away evil from amongst the congregation. No, we don't promote that. But what I am saying, you coming out of the world and how you were living, you can't change your past. That's just what it is. But you're a new creature in Christ, so you got to move forward, right? So therefore, you don't do the things you used to do.
You put away that old man. Mm-hmm.
And that old woman too. We won.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, brothers, you got a wife, we got to love our wives. It ain't easy. I know it, because sometimes they get on our nerves. But hey, this is part of the trials we have to go through. You can't just give up and throw your hands up like, I'm done, I'm out. Not unless there's certain circumstances, right? But in the long run, you got to have long patience, man. You got to, especially if you're a father and you have children. You got to set that example of having patience, right? Especially if you married her. So Ephesians 5:25 says, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, right? Now, Christ is the bridegroom, right? And we, Israel, is the church, right? We're the bride, so to speak, right? If a woman repent and she start keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, is Christ going to turn her away?
La.
So who are we to turn her away? Oh, she got 2 kids, man. I can't do. Who are you to turn her away if she repented and she's trying to do the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Another one.
Same thing with the brothers, right? If you came out of the world and you had children, or a previous life, which we all do. I don't know no man that don't have no former life. Nobody was well. There's 1 or 2 brothers who were born into the truth. When I say born into the truth, I mean they came up. They was back in One West since babies and so on and so forth. But for 99.9%, most of us, we heard the truth and repented, and now we're new people with a past, so to speak. I think that's Sergeant Zakari. Mike Allah.
I'm here, other one.
Hey, Shalom, King.
Shalom, shalom.
Okay, so that's Sergeant Mike Allah, right? Khan.
Want me to continue on reading?
Yes, read on.
26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
Right.
27. That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish.
Right. So that's what husbands have to do. We have to present ourselves as a living sacrifice and love our wives, ready to give our lives for our children, for our families, so to speak, right? Just like Christ gave his life for the church. Real quick, let's go to John 8, what I was saying. And we got a lot of topics and scriptures to go through, so I'm going to make it quick because I know there's another class after me, right? So let's go to John 8, start at verse... let's start at 1 on down. Let's read it real quick.
Gone. It's the book of John, chapter 8, verse 1. Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act.
So we already know that adultery is a crime punishable by death, right? So she slept around on her husband, just like a lot of our sisters before they came into the truth. They probably had a relationship or a child with somebody else before they came into the truth. So technically, yeah, by the law of Moses, you're supposed to be put to death. But let's see what Yahushua did, right? Read on.
Another one. Verse 5. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? Verse 6. And they said, tempting him, that he might have to accuse Slaki, so they might have to accuse him. But Jesus scooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. Verse 7. And when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone. Let him first cast a stone at her.
Right. So Yahushua already knew he was doing this as a teaching moment, because the people, in verse 6 it says, but they said tempting him, meaning they was trying to trick Yahushua. They really didn't care about her. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted to see if he was going to go against the law of Moses. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't right. They wasn't coming sincere. So Yahushua just said, all right, since that's because he already knew they was trying to trick him. So he's like, all right, if y'all perfect, then pick up the first stone, bust her in the head with a stone. Which one of you is perfect, since you ain't got no sin, right? And then he sat down and was like, all right, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna see what y'all gonna do. Read on.
Con. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Verse 9. And they which heard it being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest even until the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.
They all broke out because they all got cut to the spirit, right?
Con.
Verse 10 is what what we want. Read on.
Verse 10, when Jesus had lifted up himself, he saw none but the woman. He said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Have no man condemned thee?
Right, because that's where Esau in the court of law get this idea that you got to face your accuser. If there's nobody there accusing you, then you there, you know what I mean? Then you ain't got no case. So Christ said, Woman, where are those that your accusers, thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? Because nobody was around. Everybody bounced because, they was all convicted. It was just him and her left. Verse 11.
Verse 11, she said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
That's the point. Sin no more. So Yahweh shall forgive her, and she committed adultery. Right? So the point is, if a sister or a brother, for that matter, come into the truth and they already have a child from a previous marriage, you have to forgive them because they're coming out of the world. But now that they're a new creature in Christ, and you know what I mean, they are married now and they're fulfilling their rightful duties, then from that point on, that's how you judge them. You can't judge them according to their past. You see what I'm saying? And that's that goes into what we're talking about. Marriage is honorable and how we need one another, and we have to save this family unit. You see what I'm saying? For men and for women.
Con.
You see what I'm saying? Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3. Let's get let me see. Peter 3, and let's start at 1 on down. Are you waiting for the screen, right?
Oh yeah, Con on the one. Unless you want
1 Peter 3. So start at 1.
Con, it's the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Right. So the woman, she should be in subjection to her own husband, meaning that now that you're in the truth, right, and you're married and you're living an honorable life as best as you can, right, you have to be subjection to your own husband, right? So what does it mean if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives? Meaning you're going to be setting as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So people see how you moving and you're an example. If any obey not the word, people out in the world, right? Oh, don't I know her? That's Lucretia. Yo, that's such and such baby moms. She an Israelite now? Why she wear that funny thing on her head? What's going on with her? And when she talk, hey, shalom, blah, 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 blah. Nah. I don't do that no more. Matter of fact, here's a flyer. Why don't you come through the church that I go to? You see what I'm saying? And now she gonna win them over by the conversation. You see what I'm saying? Again, she's new. She's new in the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Read on.
Verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
Right? That's respect. Fear doesn't mean you scared like you watching a scary movie, but fear meaning respect. Right? Read on.
Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair,
right,
and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel.
Right, the baddie outfit. That's how she used to be. She used to rock the baddie outfits with the, all that stuff. We ain't gonna get, particular with it, but all that other stuff that she used to do, she don't do that no more. That's what Paul is talking about. She's being chased coupled with fear, meaning fear, respect of her husband, respect for the Most High, and she's winning people over by her conversation and her outwardly looks. She's not out there with the with the crazy stuff on, you know what I mean? The wearing of, and when it says wearing of gold, you can wear gold, but it's like excessive gold and putting on certain apparel and wearing your hair in a certain way, because women know how to wear their hair to make themselves super attractive. My line? Oh man.
Connor, the
Sisters
ones
in
who
the
come,
chat, they know what I'm talking about.
Connor,
They
they
know
go to
how
the.
to they got
Mm-hmm.
Slocky, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say they go to that beauty supply, or they do it themselves, and they know how to wave it up, lay it right, plait it right. You know
E-
what I'm saying, and make it look
Exactly.
nice.
They're like, yeah, I'm going. She going out. She trying to snatch somebody. You know what I mean? So she get it hooked up and all that. She know how to wear the right clothes, accentuate and do all of that. So yeah, you don't do that no more, right? Verse 4.
Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price.
All right, come on.
Verse 5. For after this manner in the old time, the holy woman also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Right. Look at the holy women of the Bible, and you know what I'm saying? Or their forefathers or foremothers, how grandma used to dress, you know what I mean? Auntie such and such, how they adorn themselves and be in subjection onto their husbands. Only your husband's supposed to see certain things, and you know what I mean? You're supposed to like get dressed a certain way for it. That's for the privacy of you and your husband, not for the whole world. You know what I'm saying?
God, one.
Right. And what example? Read verse 6.
Verse 6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Adawan, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
Right. So he used a good example, Sarah and Abraham. How she call him Lord, because she was in subjection to him. Right. She know how to carry herself and stuff. All this plays into what we're talking about, because by a woman using this as a righteous example, she would keep her husband and keep peace in the household. You know what I mean? And y'all gonna work together to weather the storm. That's the whole point. That's why we're bringing out these scriptures to show an example of what marriage is, right? Same for the men. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
Right. Don't be Lord over your wife, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to dwell with her and be happy with her. Give her the honor that she is, because if you don't honor the wife, then you ain't gonna have a peaceful household. Give her honor, because she's the one running the house. She's the one making sure the children get fed. For the most part, you got some brothers, they do reverse roles, whatever, due to the situation. Maybe she got to work a shift extra, and the husband got to do all of that. Whatever the case may be, just give her an honor as unto the weaker vessel. You know that the man is the stronger, right, physically, so to speak, and the woman is the weaker, but y'all complement each other and you give her honor. Nothing wrong with that. That's how y'all supposed to live, as being heirs together of the
Con,
grace of life.
con,
Don't be trying to bully your wife and, oh, I said so, and blah blah blah. You have some dudes who do that. They good for that, and bring out 1,000 precepts. Yo, see, you supposed to do it out there to do, and da da da. You don't need to do that, brother. Yeah, if you're edifying your wife on a topic, yeah, you should bring out scriptures by all day, but you don't have to beat her down, especially she's an Israelite and she's in the truth. You don't need to beat your wife down with 1,000 scriptures to show why, yo, I'm the man. You follow me. Then, something ain't right. There's a reason why she's not following the program, so to speak. We already read the scripture that says the woman should be subject unto the man. So she knows she's supposed to subject herself to you, but something is going on right there that, you know what I'm saying? Through fasting and prayer and so on and so forth, y'all work it out. So this is like the blueprint for one another, right? Read verse 8.
Verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous.
Right. Show love to one another. Be on one mind. Read verse 9.
Verse 9. Not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but counterwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
Right. Because the back and forth, they get crazy. They get crazy for everybody, even myself too. Sometimes you get in an argument with your wife and the back and forth, but as the man that there's a certain level to cut it off. You know what I mean? So that she will come down because she follows you. So if you match the energy and keep turn it up, then she's gonna try to follow. You know what I mean? But if you dictate and lead it, like, all right, you know how to diffuse the situation and bring it down. You know what I mean? And again, it could be something that's going on that's doing that. As a matter of fact, let's go to 1 Corinthians 7.
God, oh my God.
1 Corinthians chapter 7. Start at verse 3.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband.
Right. That's going into, what, right? Due benevolence is showing each other love. And it tells you that in verse 4. Y'all supposed to perform your matrimonial duties, your husbandly duties, and wifely duties.
Your union duties.
Exactly. Because it tells you, read verse 4.
Verse 4. The wife have not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife.
So y'all both subject to one another. You see what I'm saying? Read verse 5.
Verse 5. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency.
Incontinencies. Right. So basically, you're not supposed to defraud one another because, in the world, sometimes a woman is mad and she holds sex as a weapon against a man. We know that. Men, we know that, right? And also, you can flip the coin. Sometimes a man be like, nah, but it be rare because a man, he ready on go most of the times, right? You know what I mean? He ain't go try to hold back from his wife. But sometimes, every now and then, a man be like, nah, I'm not dealing with her. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it be the wife, she be holding back. So Paul is saying, defraud ye not one another, except it be for consent for a time. Y'all both agree, all right, we're going to take a break. We're going through something. And when y'all do take a break, you're supposed to give yourselves the fasting and prayer. And then come back together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. Incontinency meaning your ability not to fast or abstain from it. Because when you're incontinent, I mean you can't control yourself, right? So you gotta fast and pray, and then you come back. So these are all examples of what marriage should look like, so we could be stronger, right? As a family, as a unit. And throughout the scriptures is numerous examples of people we should look up to on how to base our marriage, right? From Abraham and Sarah, right? When you read Genesis 17, right? Abraham, Sarah called Abraham Lord, and how did she love him, right? Isaac and Rebecca, right? Matter of fact, let's go to Genesis 24. Just one verse I want out of that.
Salakia Adawan, I got a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
When you do perform those duties, isn't it like it's like the married couple is coming together all over again every time?
Exactly, because you're making that union, because pursuant to Genesis 2, when it says the two shall be one flesh. Yeah, so y'all reconsecrating the marriage all over again. That's why, you know what I mean? After y'all do that, there'll be peace in the house, right? After y'all do that, it'll be peace in the house. Cook you a steak, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I'm saying rub your back because y'all at peace because the two became one, right? And also, look at this Genesis 24:67. This is another good example of our forefathers and foremothers. Read that.
Con, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 67, and it reads, And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and
Uh
she
huh.
became his wife.
Right. So Isaac took Rebekah and she became his wife. Read on.
And he loved her.
There you go. He loved his wife. Right. Read on.
And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
Right. So that's another example of the husband loving the wife righteously. So at the time, Isaac was mourning his mom's death, Sarah, right? And Rebecca, he took her as his wife, and she, he loved her, and by him loving her, he was comforted. You see what I'm saying? So that's another example of a marriage that we should emulate. Same thing with Boaz and Ruth. Same thing with Elkanah and Hannah. We could get that too. That's First Samuel, real quick. These are just examples of what we should look up to, so that when problems come, we could look back and say, "Hey, that's a strong couple. This is what I need to work towards," because they faced adversity, right? Isaac lost his mom. Sarah, she couldn't have children. You know what I mean? Whatever you're going through now, you look back and you say, "Yes, my forefathers, they went through something similar. Let me see how they pulled through it." You know what I'm saying? Whether it be arguing and fighting or whatever the case may be. Right?
Con, can I add something out of one before you go?
Yes, of course.
So right there in that verse, it shows you how powerful unity and coming together as one is, because it comforted Isaac during the time when his mother passed. Like, if you know anything about men and their mothers, it's kind of like a unspoken rule. Like he be connected to his moms. He be loving his moms. Not only that, if you read the story of I think that's Genesis 25, you'll see how Rebecca was with Jacob. She loved Jacob. Jacob loved his mother.
That's right.
So you see how strong that bond is. And even with that bond being that strong, that unity coming together with Isaac and Rebecca, it comforted him during Sarah's death. I just want to mention that other one.
No, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly right, because there's gonna be death in the future.
Con.
So you need a wife that's gonna comfort you. Same thing with a woman, she's gonna need her husband to comfort her in these last days, in these times, right? So First Samuel 1 and 20. I'm just gonna read it real quick. I'm gonna jump around. This is Elkanah and Hannah, right? It's another couple that we should look up to, or we should read and see how they dealt with things, right? First Samuel 1 and 1. There was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, and Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. So Hannah, she can't bear. So that's a problem right there. You know what I mean? Especially if she really wants children and she can't have them. That goes on to this day. Right? So you see, this is a problem that our forefathers and foremothers went through. And how did they deal with it? They prayed. And the Most High heard her prayer and healed her and gave her a child. I'm giving you the short version. Y'all can read this, on your own. But I just wanted to bring that out, right? Let me jump down to verse 4. Let me start at verse 3, Salakia. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah. But the Lord had shut up her womb. See, we read the same thing. The man loving the wife. We just read that with Isaac and Rebekah, right?
Con.
So Elkanah loved Hannah, even though the Lord shut up her womb. So you see, this is an example as the man, you got to love your wife, even though she might have some type of shortcoming. You see what I'm saying? So it's just showing you how to love through adversity.
Con out of one con.
Verse 6, and her adversary also provoked her sore for to make her fret because the Lord had shut up her womb. Hey, let's keep it real, man. Sometimes women, they be getting on each other. And it shows you that women be fighting with one another. You know what I mean? Even women in the scriptures. So you show it's a natural thing, right? She was probably making fun of her and all that, man. But hey, it is what it is, man.
It says also provoked her sore.
Yeah,
so
provoked
obviously,
her, yeah.
obviously she was doing something.
She was doing something. Yeah. Verse 7. As he did so year by year, so what Salakia, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her, therefore she wept and did not eat. So she was upset to the point she started crying and she wouldn't eat. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am I not better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. So the chief priest at the time was a guy named Eli, right? Verse 10, and she was in bitterness of soul and prayed unto the Lord and wept sore. And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look upon the affliction of thine handmaid and remember me and not forget thine handmaid, but will give unto thine handmaid a man child, then I will give unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. Verse 12, and it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she might have been drunken. So she was praying, but she was praying so quiet. I mean, real quiet where only her lips move. You know, like you get serious. You if you're in the car by yourself, you're just talking to yourself, like you're not really talking out loud, just your lips moving. So the priest saw her and her lips were just moving, but he didn't hear nothing. But that's how serious and deep she was in her prayer. Verse 14, and Eli said unto her, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. He thought she was drunk, right? And Hannah answered and said, no, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunken neither wine nor strong drink, but I have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. So she was saying, no, I'm not drunk. I'm just grieving, and don't count me as somebody who's wicked. I'm not drunk coming to the temple. I'm just, she's upset. She's pouring out her soul to the Lord.
A sorrowful spirit.
Exactly. Verse 17. Then Eli answered and said, go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked for him. And she said, let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. Now, verse 19. As they rose up in the morning early and worshiped before the Lord and returned and came to their house at Ramah, and Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, which means he slept with her. Whenever you see that, when a man knew his wife, he's talking carnal. He slept with her, right? And the Lord remembered her. Verse 20. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, because I've asked him of the Lord. So this is how we look to our forefathers and look at the stories and see what happened. As an example, we're going through something. It could be that the woman, she might be sick. Your wife could have an ailment. You might want children like Anna, and she can't bear them, or whatever the case may be. You pour it to the Lord. This is an example of how we should be as working together, husband and wife. You see what I'm saying? So that we can solve whatever problems, right? When you read the book of Luke, you read about Zachariah and Elizabeth, right?
Come on, Elizabeth. Mm-hmm.
Right. When you read in the book of Acts, you read about Aquila and Priscilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many couples that we could look and see how the union of man and woman, husband and wife, how they, they overcome adversaries, problems in whatever situation. And that's what we have to use today to, weather the storm. Because again, if you think you're going to make it out here by yourself on that, yo, I don't need nobody, I don't need no man, it ain't going to work, sis. Same thing with you dudes. If you think you're going to be out here like, yo, I'm going to just be a passport, bro, I'm going to just move around, I don't need no woman, it ain't going to work, bro. You understand? Not unless now you take you got the spirit like Paul. Because Paul, he didn't have any woman, but he have like a monk spirit where he refrained from women.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But let's be honest. How many of y'all got that spirit, brother? I'm talking to the men. How many of y'all got that spirit?
Mm.
Y'all could go with, Salaki, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Matthew speaks about 3 kinds of eunuchs, right? The ones that is in 56 Isaiah, like Christ and like Paul, right?
Right. Exactly. Now, Paul chose not to touch a woman. But then he said that if forbid, let's get that scripture where it says, for if you can't, let every man have his own wife.
Right. If you burning, all right.
Let every man have his own wife. Right. So my question to my brothers is, how many of y'all got that spirit where y'all could just go without a woman for years and years and years and years and not lust and not burn? Be honest. If you could do that, put a 1 in the chat. I'm talking to my brothers. If you could do that, please let me know.
Right. Just one thing I just want to point out in this situation with them, it shows you the power of prayer too, because she prayed. She was in the temple praying. She was praying quietly with her mouth, like she was praying. She didn't give her husband attitude. Oh,
Exactly.
I can't fast. And she didn't do none of that. She went in the temple and started praying. She was praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. And then when he finally knew his wife again, the Most High answered her prayers. Right. So it goes to show you how powerful prayers is.
God. So we was just there in 1 Corinthians 7, right? So Paul is saying, now concerning things whereof he wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Now, when you read the context of this, you got to go back to chapter 6 and see what Paul is talking about. He's talking about if you want to have certain, if you're dealing with the church, because he was addressing the church at Corinth, right? So for men to be judged, you don't want to be judged, and you want to judge other people in great matters and small matters. See, like it says in verse 2, right? Don't you know, do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge small matters? So he's talking about if you're in a position of judging the church, right? You're supposed to be, and it continues, right? You're not supposed to be a whoremonger. If anything, try not to be in any relationship. However, if you can't and you don't have the spirit like what the Lord gave Paul, right? Verse 7 and 1. Now concerning the things thereof he wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman, and not to touch a woman outside of marriage, and because you're lusting and burning, right? That's what he's talking about also. Verse 2. Nevertheless, and he says it right here, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. So again, my question to you, brothers, can you go without a woman indefinitely? Do you have the spirit like Paul got?
Could I have something out of one?
Of course, Khan.
And don't listen to them Catholic priests, right? Because they pull this verse and try to say, oh, I'm a priest, I can't get married, da 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 da. And they try to use this verse to kind of boast to that point. Like, oh yeah, priests aren't allowed to get married, da 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 da. I'm a priest, I'm gonna abstain from being with a woman, I can't be with a woman. It's not. It's not. It's not talking about that. Don't let them Catholic priests fool you. That's not what it's talking about.
That's
It
First Timothy 4. They twisting Paul's words.
facts, con.
Now,
Yep.
First Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Catholic churches they keep doctrines of devils,
That's a fact.
speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidden to marry. Where does it say you're not supposed to marry? We just read in Genesis 2:18, the Lord said, no, it is lawful to marry. It is good.
Con. And you see, that's why they got the highest rate of pedophiles, right? They got the highest rate of rapes and attacking the nuns and all of that, because like the elder said, it's very hard for a man to abstain from being, in that bond with a woman, because that's his opposite. He's supposed to want to bond with her or a woman, right? Lawfully, right? He's supposed to want to do that. This is why they are. That's why if you read about any Catholic priest, 9 out of 10 times they done did something crazy, molested some child, this rape pseudo stuff, some craziness, right? Because they can't abstain, right? They try to act like they can, but they can't, and they wind up doing something to a little child, and doing something to a woman or something like that, or doing a rape and all of that, because they are bugged out of their mind. So like out of one.
Doctrines of devils. We go back, Genesis 2:24. This is from the beginning. Therefore shall a Salaki, go ahead.
2:24 Genesis. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
So now go back to 1 Timothy 4:3.
Forbidden to marry, and commanding to abstain from meat, which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth.
Nowhere tells us you can't get married. Forbidden to marry, that's a doctrine of devils created by the Catholic Church. But anyway, let's get back to what we're saying, right? So brothers, right? I didn't even check the chat, but I already know. You don't have the Spirit. Well, I'm not going to be pretentious and say I know you don't. I'm not going to say that. Most of us don't have the Spirit to go a certain amount of time without a woman, even if it's not on a carnal level. Now you could say you on a fast, you want to get your life together, you're working on you might be going through, try to go through school, get your job, get your money up, then get married. We respect that, right? But your whole life, or from this point on, you come on, brother. We need to be in the company of a woman. You need to be with a woman. Let's just cut the foolishness out, right? So if we do need to be with a woman, then just understand we should look at our forefathers and see that their example that they gave us, because what? Hebrews 13:4, marriage is honorable. If you're going to get a woman, prove her. And when you prove her, get married, brother. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of brothers, man, they scared of responsibilities. Let's keep it real. That's why they don't want to, they used to the girlfriend life, and she come over when, and then whatever the case may be. Or they still living at their mama house. You know what I'm saying? Or they not fully matured. It's like they're being held back mentally. They're grown boys. They're not men. They don't run their household. They don't have a household to run. They don't help. They don't participate. They don't, you know what I mean?
They still living at home with mama.
Yeah. Mentally and physically. Physically they could be, or mentally they still looking for somebody. Hey baby, it's gonna be all right. And bruh, snap out of that, man. You see what I'm saying?
It's an old saying, Salaki Adawan. It's an old saying they used to say back in the days. Why buy the milk when I got the cow for free?
Yeah.
I hope y'all. I pray y'all get that. I pray y'all get that.
Yeah. So we need to know that. Okay. The point of the class is that we need to work together, right? So those are the examples a righteous example of a family and how to work together, right? Why is the breakdown? Why are we not doing the things that the scriptures told us to do? Why we don't see a lot of Sarahs out here, a lot of Rebeccas, a lot of Hannahs? Why we don't see a lot of Isaacs? Why we don't see a lot of Jacobs? Why we don't see a lot of Elkanahs? You see what I'm saying? Something happened along the way, right? Oh, we know what. We went into captivity.
Facts.
We
Multiple
went into captivity and the curses spanked us and kicked our butts. So now the enemy broke us down mentally, physically, and spiritually. So now we are unable to bond and be together. Now you add that to the prophecies that's being fulfilled. Our people are cooked, as they say. Cooked, because remember, it was slavery that pushed us apart. Because how they used to treat the men, they treat the men as bucks, have them breeding with, women. That's where you get that whole baby mama mentality from. They whoop that into the slave. The woman, they abuse them, they essay them, abuse them, and all that. And that's where all that, we're dealing with post-traumatic slave trauma. It is the truth.
Con.
Take a look at this, brothers. This is from Princeton University, right? It's supposed to be some Ivy League school, right? It says, bound in wedlock, slave and free black marriage in the 19th century. When you say 19th century, it's all 100 years behind. So you're talking about the 1800s.
Right.
So now you see a picture over here. You see a dude look like he's a soldier, right? Just like a lot of us in Esau's army to this day, right? And you see his wife right here. We was getting married back then. Even though we had external forces fighting against us. But boy, they did us dirty, man.
Could I just add something, other one?
Yes, sir.
During the 19th century, you had Jim Crow, right? 1866.
Yep.
Right. You had the Black Codes, 1865. Right.
Uh-huh.
1776. They made the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence. Right. We was in slavery. We was slaves during this whole time.
Yeah.
Other one, just read.
So some of us still try to hold on to wedlock, meaning they try to participate in marriage, even though the slave master was raping a woman and sometimes raping the men too. Esau's a damn devil. Let's just keep it 1,000. He was doing wicked things. Go see that documentary, Buck Breaking. Exactly. You understand? He was doing wicked things, but we still somehow try to get married, right? So the topic is called bound in wedlock. Salaki, somebody's gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna add something. I think we knew even during the slavery time that we needed each other. Right.
Exactly.
I think we definitely knew that, and it was instilled. No matter what was going on, we still needed our sisters, and the sisters realized they needed the brothers, right? During the slavery time, and doing all of that time. I think when it comes up further past the 19th century is when it gets crazy. But go ahead, I don't want to lie.
Right, because again, they did us dirty, and we still was fighting against the enemy, and he was still doing us dirty. So I'm gonna just read a little excerpt from this and move on, right? The name of the book or the article is called Bound in Wedlock, Slave and Free Black Marriage in the 19th Century, right? Publisher, Harvard Press. It says, Americans have long viewed marriage between a white man and a white woman as a sacred union. But marriages between African Americans have seldom been treated with the same reverence. This discriminatory legacy traces back to the centuries of slavery, when the overwhelming majority of black married couples were bound in servitude as well as wedlock. Though their unions were not legally recognized, that's another thing too. You get married and they wouldn't even recognize you as married. Slaves commonly married, fully aware that their marital bonds would be sustained or nullified according to the whims of white masters.
Because I right there, the one that means that the white man can say the slave master can say, yeah, y'all married, and somebody come want to buy the woman or buy the man. Guess what's gonna happen? Just take a guess.
You know what it is. We saw that in 12 Years a Slave,
Come on,
right? What else we saw? What other movie we saw that in? Django.
Django.
Yeah, you could sell your wife whenever you feel like it. What do you
That's
think
why.
that does to our psyche? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna add. That's why when Django found out where his wife was at, they didn't even know she was married. They didn't care. The master in the house was like, who you want to buy? Like he was willing to sell until they found out what was happening. So that's what's that's what was happening, man. They would
Con,
sell your
con.
wife, they would sell a husband. If a guy from North Carolina came up to Virginia to a plantation and he seen the man, and the man was married to a woman, and the white master wanted to sell him, he was sold, gone, period.
That's right. So let's read on down. It says, let's read the this chapter here, the third paragraph. It says, after emancipation, white racism continued to menace black marriages. It was a menace to us, man.
Mm,
Laws passed during Reconstruction, that's right after the Civil War, right?
hmm
Ostensibly to secure the civil rights of newly freed African American citizens, were often coercive and repressive. They would force us not to get married. Informal antebellum, whenever you see the word antebellum, it means Southern slavery. Informal antebellum traditions of marriage were criminalized, and the new legal regime became a convenient tool for plantation owners to discipline agricultural workers. Because remember, after slavery, they went into what is known as sharecropping, and they still wouldn't respect marriage. You understand what I'm saying?
That's when the vagrant laws, the black code started to come into
All
effect.
that, all that. Right. It says recognition of the right of African Americans to enter into wedlock on terms equal to whites would remain a struggle into Jim Crow era, going into the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. And its
hmm
legacy would resonate well into the 20th century. So they've been fighting against the union of the black man and the black woman. You understand what I'm saying? And this, you could take this and you could mirror it to the Caribbean, right? For Benjamin, Levi, right? South America, right? They did the same thing. The enemy's the enemy, right? So now, what do you think that did to us? That caused mental problems, right?
Con,
But
con.
again, it was of the Most High, because again, when you read in the book of Baruch, right, it tells us that we went into slavery was for punishment, not for our destruction. So this is all part of the punishment.
Also, the curses was a sign to let us know, or to let the other people, other nations know that we are the children of Israel, according to Deuteronomy 28. I think that's 45 and 46.
That's exactly where I wanted to go. That's exactly the next scripture. It says Deuteronomy 28:45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkens not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Right? So that's forever. It's not forever, ever, ever, meaning eternity. Forever meaning for a period of time until the Lord comes and destroys and breaks the curses, right? We get back into the kingdom.
Con,
But this slavery did a number on us, right? And as a result, we're seeing how our brothers act, meaning that they don't respect the sanctity of marriage. They're just running around doing whatever they got to do or whatever they feel like doing. Same thing with the woman, right? Because when you jump down to verse 54, it says,
hmm
so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward his wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. You work hard and you ain't got nothing, and master just come and violate. and all you got is just he gives you alcohol, he takes your money. It's gonna make you mad. But the thing is, they got us to fight one another, and so we were turning against each other, even from that time. That's why we always fighting against it's the curses, Deuteronomy 28:54, 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. Now we were distressed. Now this prophecy or this curse right here is twofold. We were at the time we were remember the Israelites, they were besieged. I forget, it was a time of forget what king it was, but we were surrounded by enemies and we were starved out and we were distressed in our gates and we resorted to cannibalism. That was back then. Now, you know what I'm talking, you know that king I'm talking about, King?
I think is that the Babylonian? I
Yep.
think that's the Babylonian king. I forgot his name.
They surrounded Jerusalem, they surrounded us, and they starved us out. That's what it's talking about. Wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. This is also talking about a future prophecy, which is now where we're living in so-called the new Babylon, which is America. We were distressed, and a man does not have love for his children. What do they call us? Or call them, not us. Let me say them. Deadbeat dads, right? They don't, it says, verse 55, so that he will not give any, which is talking about food, raiment, substance, anything, so that he shall not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege. So back then it happened, it's happening now, and it's going to happen in the future. They on some, yo, I'm going to get it, I'm gonna do me, I'm bouncing. Don't care about the women and children. Abandon them, right?
You see that in that documentary, The Vanishing Family.
That's a good one too.
I don't even know if people know what that is, but The Vanishing Family is a documentary they did. I think that's CBS that did that documentary, and it was focused on the black family. How the women said, "Oh, I don't need a husband," and how the man said, "Oh, I want baby mamas." Right?
Exactly. That's what we're gonna get into. If somebody could put that in the chat, that would be great. Verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground of delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Right? So she got to get it how she get it. She don't care about her husband or her son. And we see that in today's society now. That's how her whole family construct just broke down. Right? And this is part of the curses. Verse 57. And toward her young one that came out from between her feet, and toward her children, which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege. The same siege we was talking about. This did happen. Right? Where we were surrounded and we resorted to cannibalism. This is going to happen in the future again. And straightness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. All right. So now the enemy did that to us during slavery. And right, remember, we were supposed to be freed and out of slavery, and they still jerked us in the sharecropping thing. Right. Watch this video, brothers and sisters, about sharecropping. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Let me know if the volume.
9.
9, do you go to school?
You can hear that, Zach?
Kind of the one. I can hear it.
All right. So this is about sharecropping. Look how they had our people, man. Look how they had our people.
Jerome, how old are you?
9.
9, do you go to school?
Yes.
Where do you go to school, Jerome?
At the Okeechobee Elementary School.
I see. What is your sister's name?
Lois.
That's Lois. And what are your other sisters' names?
Catherine. And Beulah.
Catherine and Beulah. What happened to your foot, Jerome?
Dig a nail in at the bottom one shot.
Look at that, man.
See,
That's crazy. That's how they had our people, man. Forget about healthcare and all of that. We had to heal ourselves with herbs and off the land because ain't no hospital, ain't no nothing like that. And there's no father there.
Drove a nail in out by the wash house. What did your mother do for that?
She put some alcohol on it
Where do you sleep, Jerome?
in his bed.
You have this big bed?
Yes,
What happened? How did you get that hole in that bed there, Jerome?
the rats,
The what?
rats.
Now, Jerome, you are taking care of Kathy, of Beulah, and Lois.
Yes,
Now, are you going to give them lunch today?
yes.
Look at the babies, man. And he got to be the man of the house. He got to help his mom to take care of them. That's the same thing going on right now. You see, that's why we got to stick together, man. Because if not, this is what's going to happen like it's happening right now, and it's going to happen in the future. Crazy.
What are you going to feed them?
I don't know.
Do you have any food here to give them?
Yes.
I see. What time does your mother come home?
I don't know.
The following day, Aline King, the mother of Jerome, Kathy, Lois, and Beulah, again was picking beans.
Aileen King, I saw your children yesterday at the Okeechobee camp. Why didn't you put them in the nursery?
I don't make enough to pay for it.
Kind of. That's like nowadays, yo. Why your kids ain't in daycare? Because we ain't got no money, bruh. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't got no money. That's why daycare back then was a major problem, just like daycare is. You heard what the sister said. Let me play it again. He asked her some stupid question.
Okeechobee camp. Why didn't you put them in the nursery?
Why didn't you put them in the
I
nursery?
don't make enough to pay for it.
How much does it cost to put them in?
85 cents.
85 cents.
That's right.
Aileen, what time did you come out the field this morning?
6 o'clock.
What time would you get home?
About 3:30, 4 o'clock.
6 o'clock. And she getting home 3:34. Right? So all day from sun up, because the sun probably get up around 6 in the morning, right? She gone. These little babies got to fend for themselves.
6 this morning to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's right.
How much did you earn?
$1.
$1?
That's right.
$1.
$1.
Is that because the beans were of poor quality?
That's right.
Has this happened before?
That's right.
How much will your food cost you today?
About $2.
Aileen, how old are you?
29.
How many children do you have?
14.
I know y'all heard that, right? This sister got
14.
14. You understand?
And the devil want to tell you pull yourself up by your bootstraps. How you have the audacity to say something like that to somebody like us? That's crazy.
Yeah. Who to know if she wasn't essayed or whatever the case may be, or you know what I'm saying? Our people had us in horrible conditions, but the Lord still deliver us. Right?
God.
But the point is, we don't, if it be the Lord will, strengthen the bond with you and your wife and your family, so that we don't go through this in the future, because the hard times is coming. You see what I'm saying?
Also, you don't see the father around. These dudes probably hung him, killed him, lynched him.
Exactly. You never know. But I would dare to say, yes, they did.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And that's going to get into another topic.
How old were you when you first started working in the fields?
8.
You've been working 21 years in the fields?
That's right.
Aileen, do you ever think you'll be able to get out of this kind of work?
No, sir.
See what I'm saying? Our enemy just did that to our people, man. She don't feel as though she could get out of that work. You see what I'm saying? So this is part of the external forces that was part of the curses, part of the enemy fighting against the family, fighting against the matrimony of marriage between a man and a woman. So the man ain't there and just using and abusing the woman and children. You see what I'm saying? Now, how many of you know about the Man in the House Act, which everybody knows about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's touch on that real quick. This is the Man in the House Act that kicked men out of the house. We all know about it, but sometimes just meditating and watching it again, it'll light a fire in your spirit. You see what I'm saying?
Gone. And it says 101. How to destroy the black family and kill the black man.
There you go.
Man in the House rule was written to prevent welfare cheating, to make sure that aid to families with dependent children would go only to families headed by mothers. But the effect of the Man in the House rule is to create for children an atmosphere of investigation and surveillance. And thus, the welfare system in its operation turns out to be a system to make life harder for children.
The welfare system helps the disintegration of the American family. It offers money to families if the fathers will leave them and stay away, in that sense undoing the very stability of the family and taking away one of the two parents that children, of course, need. And what I have seen, I'm afraid to say, all over the country is that the legal system works against the best kind of home for these children.
Well, duh. That's what it was created for.
Living.
So we have laws that's being passed, unrighteous laws that's being passed against our people to break up marriage, right? We got them abusing our women and children, having them work to death and robbing them of their wages, right? What else they got that's fighting against us as a family, right? They got something like this. They got this. Who remember this? Who knows what this picture is about? That's
Women,
black feminism.
Feminism,
right?
yep. Women feminism. Mm-hmm.
This devil right here, her name is Gloria Steinem, which y'all should know already, right? They said she was a CIA operative. Who knows, right? And then this sister right here caught up with her. What are you doing with her, sis? That helped to push about the wedge between the man and the woman. You see what I'm saying? That helped to further push this curse where it says the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not have ventured to set her sole of her foot upon the ground for delicate and tenderness. She ain't delicate or tender. She don't have a delicate spirit. She got a war spirit. Mm-hmm. See how she got her hand? It's war. Let the men go to war, sis. That's not your job, sis. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So feminism came in and further put a nail in the coffin of marriage with the so-called the black man, woman, and child, right?
Right, because I don't need a man spirit came from there.
There we go. There we go. I don't need a man spirit, right? So you could watch all these videos on feminism. And they'll tell you that, oh, I'm better off. No, you're not. Because you know what feminism brought about? It brought about weak men who bow down and rebellious women. Like this sister right here. Watch this.
I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and take no.
Like making.
That's the sister Leslie Jones, right? She was on SNL, Saturday Night Live. She's a comedian. And this woman asked her, hey, do you see yourself being a traditional wife? As a traditional wife? And she said, no, like being a slave. You know what? I'm going to let y'all watch it. Let me play it over.
I do.
So a dominant to your submissive.
I'm not submissive.
Whoa. You heard what she said? She said she's not submissive. But hold on, Captain. Didn't we read in the Bible where it says women should submit to their husbands righteously?
Con. She got a can of man spirit.
All right, let's finish watching this.
Could you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
A trad wife, trad short for traditional.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and take no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife.
To be anybody's wife.
Your daddy failed you, sis. I'm sorry.
To be anybody's wife is a wild answer. That is crazy.
Great. So your daddy raised you to be a lesbian? Salaki, you were saying something, Sergeant?
No, I was just saying that's crazy.
Bro, the things this woman said out of her mouth, she said, my daddy didn't raise me to be anybody's wife. What the hell did your daddy raise you to be? An Amazon warrior?
For real. And where was your mother at allowing him to do that? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy work.
But you see how we slow walking it, how we got to where we are right now, from slavery, sharecropping, feminism, all the stuff to pull us apart, the No Man in the House Act, all that plays a part into what we are seeing right here, right now.
Khan, and the vanishing family is just before this period here, because I'm pretty sure this period is now in this time and age. The vanishing family is in the 80s.
In the 80s, this just happened. She just made these statements about a month ago.
Gone.
Let's get Colossians 3:18, because this chick is bat-ish crazy, bro.
Office, I don't know what.
Let's get Colossians 3:18. No, I'm not going crazy. What does that say, Captain?
Come on, that's the book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 18, and it reads, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as it is fit in the Lord.
You see what I'm saying? So that's a righteous thing. So who taught you, sis? Or better yet, who hurt you? That's what I should say, right?
For real.
But let's hear some more. Hear what she's saying.
My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart. Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so really.
So hold on. So because some people got divorced, you gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater? Marriage ain't good?
Mm-hmm.
As we've seen over and over, we saw examples of our forefathers in the Bible. We even saw back in slavery days and fresh out of slavery, our people were still getting married. What is you talking about, sis?
Like you said, Adawan, her father failed her and failed her miserably.
That's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking.
Legalized slavery.
Yo, that's wild to say right there. That is wild
So
to say.
I guess my mama was a slave to my daddy then, right?
Right. My mom's too, right?
I guess all our moms were slaves to our dads, and our grandmas and great grandmas. They was all slave to grandpa too, right?
That's why I said, where is her mother at? Because how could your father raise you not to be a wife? What was the mother doing? That's crazy. That's crazy work right there.
Hey, really, it's like who hurt the daddy?
That's right. For him to make such a statement to the daughter, right? Right.
Let me find out the mother did that to the father. That's why the father raised her like that.
But you know what? We could sit here like you see the meme with the 4 Spider-Mans pointing fingers to one another. we could sit here and be like the daddy, the mommy. At the end of the day, this is what we dealing with. These are the women that's walking the streets to this day.
Gone.
And men too. The men are just as off too.
Yeah, because her father's off to raise her not to be a wife, or not to want to be a wife, or to aspire to be a wife. That's off.
Thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come
Absolutely
into my head.
not. I don't think I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip.
Yo, this chick is crazy, bro.
That's crazy. After they beat Christ, you think it should put that? You think marriage is pulling out a whip? A husband is pulling out a whip? That's mad. That's nasty work.
She's equating a holy matrimony that the Lord, right, blessed and said we should enter into. A man should leave his mother and father and have his wife, and the two shall be one. We read that. She's saying that's akin to them whipping us like we was enslaved, like we was in antebellum South.
Come on, she's saying the Lord, because the Lord said that. She's saying the Lord is that. Yo, that's bad work right there, man.
In a chain.
Wow. In a chain.
You know what? I think deep down, I think the sister is she's self-conscious. Maybe this could be me. I'm no psychiatrist. I'm no mental health expert, but maybe she feels some type of way. Maybe she didn't get the man that she wanted. So therefore, to hell with marriage, because the man that I want don't want me. Could be. Let's be honest. I'm not disrespecting her. She ain't the prettiest sister or the most feminine sister, right? So it could be that. A lot of that also plays into sometimes our woman kind of depart and go play for the lesbian friends side of the things. You know what I mean? To end up in a sodomite relationship.
That kind of man is very unattractive. That's all I'm gonna say.
I need a feminine sister. I need sisters to stay in their femininity, man, because this ain't it right here.
God.
This ain't it.
So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't.
Man, get a dumbass, get a goofy ass off the screen. I'm sorry.
So you're gonna break God's laws because you've been, let's say, hurt, or your daddy didn't raise you. So that's
Right.
crazy. That's crazy work.
Right. So, and with a straight face, right? So this is a result of this. You see how that all kind of comes together?
Con.
Anyway, let's keep it moving.
Salakia. I was
Yes,
going to
sir.
say, how do people want our people to be unified, but you want to separate the marriage?
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So not only did this brought about that, it also make us hate ourselves. Right?
Facts.
Black man, tonight I believe is the NFL draft. You're gonna see pictures tomorrow of all these young players with white girlfriends on their arm. You see what I'm saying? They hate
Con.
themselves because of slavery, because of the enemy and the chaotic the things that they put us through, the trauma, parents failing them, and a lot of them be raised by it's just crazy, man. We in bad shape, man. Right? So not only do we have sisters running around saying marriage is off, but you also have brothers who are going against, they saying they hate their sisters too. Just like you have women who hate black men, black women who hate black men. That's crazy. Go ahead, King.
They just get it, just like they both just gave up on each other. Like the woman gave up on, being with the husband, which is in her nature. Like, and the man gave up on his own people, his own wife that he should be with.
Exactly. Watch this, brothers. This is also another thing too, and sisters. What's this? Oh, this is the feminism one. No, that's not what I want. Check this out. This is another one. Y'all seeing the story floating around, right?
Yeah, that's the sister that got with the white guy. He killed her or something like that, right?
Exactly. Why? Because she hate herself.
Facts.
All this ties together.
Surrounding the death of a social media influencer from New Jersey is deepening.
We just want the truth. We just want to know what happened.
Hold on, let me turn it up. And as a matter of fact, she's a social media influencer. And have you seen her posts, bro?
Yeah, she was telling the sisters not to be with their own kind. Don't be with black men. I think her and her mother was talking like crazy nonsense.
Crazy. I don't know which is worse. Somebody like this or the other sister talk about marriage and slavery. It's crazy.
They both in the
Surrounding
same
the
boat.
death of a social media influencer from New Jersey is deepening.
We just want the truth. We just want to know what happened.
Earlier this month, Ashley Robinson, better known as Ashley Jeanette.
How you holding hands with Satan, bro? Hey, daddy, how you holding hands with Satan?
The scripture says, "Though hand join hand, the
wicked
wicked
shall
shall not go unpunished."
I got a scripture after this. Let's watch this, man. And you know what? It's unfortunate the sister got put to death, but this is an example, man. That's why the Lord told us, Deuteronomy 7:1-6, man. Don't make marriages with them, man. Anyway, let's go.
Was on vacation with her boyfriend at a resort in Tanzania. Images posted online show her celebrating her 31st birthday and getting engaged to her boyfriend, 45-year-old Joseph McCann.
See, black men can't do that. See, that's what it is. Look, he took me to Africa. He see, I'm feeding a giraffe. Can a black man do that for me? you can already hear the foolishness, right?
He proposed to me in Africa.
Birthday and getting engaged to her boyfriend, 45-year-old Joseph McCann.
She was happy. This is what she wanted.
She FaceTimed me, showed me her ring. She's like, Papa, I'm happy.
But days later, local authorities say hotel guests reported a romantic conflict between the couple, prompting management to move McCann to a separate room. A few hours later, authorities say she was found unresponsive in her room by hotel staff.
I did receive a phone call from Joe. He told me that Ashley did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital.
Right. Y'all think that Ashley did something to herself, or Satan just being Satan himself just unalived that sister?
Why would she kill herself if she's having a great time? She got engaged,
Eating giraffes, getting married, flying around the world, and then she want to kill herself, right? Unalive herself, I should say.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Because of argument.
Right. Because of the argument. What he did, called off the marriage at the last minute after he gave her the ring. Come on, man. Stop the ball. For real.
So, and that he told me that she was stable.
After receiving treatment at 2 hospitals, Robinson was declared deceased. A hospital medical report suggesting she died by suicide, noting an unidentified mark around her neck. But Robinson's family...
Unidentified mark around her neck. Either he strangled her or allegedly they said she hung herself. You know, black people.
He hung her because he had that thing in his family and in his generations. Let's hang these Negroes.
See, so you know, that's why I can't be with no white woman, man. I can't. That interracial shit is foolishness, because when y'all get into an argument, the first thing out of this crack of mine, oh, you nigga, da. I'm gonna treat you like a slave. And sometimes they be into all that kinky fetish stuff. Come on, sisters, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Whip me and all that foolishness, man. But as soon as y'all get into an argument with the so-called white man, you nothing but an N-word. Now, I'm not saying all my sisters do that, because I know my sisters ain't doing this, but you still got women like this. And she's our sister, as lost as she is. She's still our sister. She just got caught up.
And she's a social media influencer, like you said, other one. You should see the stuff that's on her page, or that was on her page, man. It's crazy,
bro. I just got a couple more things before, because I know the brother class coming up. So let me just
not
finish
accepting that explanation. They want more information.
She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe.
And when you check this out, her mama married to a white man. That's her mama. Her mama got a white man. He not on camera, but if you look it up, her mama married to a white man too. So that's where she got it from.
Mm-hmm.
That she would do something to harm herself like that. She was happy.
Authorities are still questioning McCann and confiscated his passport while they wait for the medical examiner's report. McCann has not responded to a request for comment.
Right. That cracker gonna skate. Let me get go ahead, brother.
They hold themselves not guilty, right? That's what the scriptures say, right?
That's right. That's right. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3. And let me get verse 31. See what it says there?
Come on, I'll read it. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
You want to ride around in a Lambo. You want to take exotic trips. You want to be flown out. Envy thou not the oppressor. Because trust me, that cracker was or is the oppressor. And he let you know who you are. He let her know who she was at the end. Like Sergeant said, what kind of argument could it be that you gonna unalive her? Ah man, let's get Zach. You spoke about this. Let's get the book of Tobit. All right. Let's get Tobit chapter 4. And let's pick up verse 12, I believe. Yeah, Tobit 4 and 12.
Come on, this is the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
See, if Ashley was to take a wife or a husband. Look at her about to bow down. Oh my God, I'm sorry. See, Sister Ashley here was to took a husband of her father's, because that's her father. That's her father. So if Ashley was to take a husband of her father, then 9 out of 10 times, I don't think it would have ended like that. I could be wrong, but I'm just throwing it out there. Go ahead, Zach.
Con, take not, Lucky, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seeds shall inherit the land.
So that's what we started out the class with, right? Examples, righteous examples of marriage. How we read marriage is honorable. How from the beginning, that's how it was supposed to be. How did we end up where, you know what I'm saying? It's like this. How do we end up? Then on top of that, what about mental health? Right? The scriptures talk about being mad, being smitten with madness.
Come on, that's Deuteronomy 28 and 28.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. Read what you got, King.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. And the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Now, brothers, this is for the brothers now. We just dealt with the sisters. This is for the brothers now, right? If you going through mental health, man, and you see, when you're an Israelite, you have brothers you could call on. You understand? You know what to do. Fast and pray. Call on the Lord. He will help you, right? He will send you help. But what about brothers still in the world and they going through mental health? Because mental health is a serious thing. That's another thing that's keeping us separate. So when problems come, we got nobody to call on. That's serious. And if the man is the head of the house and the man head is broken, is cracked, he's got problems, what do you think is going to happen to the house? The whole house is going to fall. Now, the next video is so sad. I just got to give a disclaimer. It's sad as heck, man. But it goes into what Captain Zakaria brought out. This is the curse of Deuteronomy 28:28. Another death in the nail in the coffin for our family as a black man, black woman. Mental health. This is for the brothers. Check this out.
Or get a hold of the Louisiana man who police say shot and killed 8 children. 7 of those victims were his.
He shot and killed 8 children.
And his own children at that.
His own. This is mental health, King.
Yeah, when
Go
I
ahead,
seen
King.
this, when I seen this, I was sad. I said, "Oh wow,
Right.
this is crazy." It just hurt. It just hurt me, man. I was sad.
Exactly, bro. Let me start over again.
Louisiana man who police say shot and killed 8 children. 7 of those victims were his own children, as well as critically wounding his wife and another woman. Investigators now say 31-year-old Shamar Elkins and his wife were right in the middle of separating and were actually due in court today. Police now also investigating to figure out how exactly he got a hold of the gun. He was convicted of a felony back in 2019 and should not have been able to buy or get a hold of the assault-style weapon police say was used. Now, this domestic attack from over the weekend now being marked as the nation's deadliest mass shooting in more than 2 years.
We've never seen anything like this. This amount of evil violence that happened, and that's what it is, it's evil, is something that's disturbing, and it's going to take a long time for this community to recover.
Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry just announcing tonight that the Love One Louisiana Foundation right here was actually created by the First Lady. Well, that foundation will now pay for the funeral expenses for each of those children.
It's crazy, King. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's so
You
sad,
can hear
man.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you, other one. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
Right.
that's sad, man. That's sad.
That's
And the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
so now we got mental health, right? We got psychological problems, we got marital problems and all that. You see why we need the Most High, and you see why we have to stick together, right? Now I'm about to end the class, but there's the cherry on the top also. There's the cherry on the top. Watch this.
Billionaire CEO of Palantir just.
This is. I truly didn't understand why it's so damn hard to get a job.
There's a name to what's happening to Black women right now. And this billionaire CEO of Palantir just said it out loud. If you're a Black woman, you want to listen to this. Company named Palantir was awarded $13.7 billion in contracts in 2025. And their software now runs inside of 10 federal agencies. Stay with me. These are some of the same agencies that Black women built careers that no one could discriminate them out of. And now Palantir, their AI is running inside those same buildings, deciding who gets fired, who gets laid off, and who gets audited. The same AI that replaced Black people in government is similar to the AI running the applicant tracking systems now. And the Palantir CEO, the one in those 10 agencies, says that highly educated Democratic female voters will suffer the most because of it.
So all the I don't need a man, I got a career, I got a PhD, blah 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 blah. AI is replacing all of that. Now where you gonna run to? You see what I'm saying?
Con. Yep.
So now look, at the end of the day, let me get 2 Timothy 1:7. We got it's a lot more, but for the sake of time, I know the brother's about to start his class, so we don't cut it short right here. But let me get the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1. Let me start at verse 7. Right, read what you have, King.
Con. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1, starting at verse 7. For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
That's us. That's us in the truth, right? We can't be afraid of all these things that's happening. Why? Because we saw from step by step the not progression but regression, how it was all set up, right? The destruction of the family, mental health and certain breakdowns and all that. Now you add to that financial woes and all of that, it's like a perfect storm. That's why the name of the class is Work Together or Die Alone. That's what we got to do. Go ahead, King Slockin. You got scripture you want to bring out?
Nah, I just was saying, Con, to what you said, work together or die alone. It's listen. We supposed to be one flesh. We supposed to be a family, right? Treat your wives as one flesh, right? Deal with them as the weaker vessel. Give them honor, right? You know, we supposed to do what we supposed to do as men, right? Make sure we take care of the household. Wife and children all are in the household in our land.
Con, Sergeant Michael, you got anything before we close?
I was just gonna say, beautiful class, Adawan, beautiful class.
Con, brothers and sisters, I pray this class was edifying. The whole point of the matter is that all we got is us, and we need each other. And the Most High knew what He was doing when He brought us together, because I was made for you, you were made for me. The Most High made us to be a perfect union. That's it. So the people who's going to survive and make it, right, is going to be the ones who work together. Because if you're not working together, I don't know what to tell you. I wanted to bring out Sirach 26:13. No, 26, 1-3. Let me last scripture. I'm sorry. Let's get
Nah, you in the spirit, because I was thinking about Sirach 9. But you in the spirit.
So let's go. You want to bring it out, King?
I'll read it.
Hang on one second. Salakia. You there, King?
Yeah, what verse you want? Ecclesiasticus?
Yeah, let me put it on the screen.
I got it, Cap.
Salakia. 26?
John, I got it.
You
want me to read it, Cap?
Yeah, God, you can read it, Sarge.
Okay. 26, 1 through 3. Got it wrong, right?
Yes, Lord.
All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 1. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double.
So you got a good woman, brothers. You got a good woman. Thank the Lord. Make it work. Try your best. Make it work. Because ain't nothing else out there. Right? You think you think the grass green on the other side? Just be content. It ain't always like that. Because you got a whole lot of problems and demons walking out there. And if the Lord bless you with a virtuous wife, thank the Most High and count your days, because it's blessing. And count your blessings, I should say. Read on.
Verse 2, a virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
Right.
A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord.
Right. That's your reward. You fear the Lord. You keep the law, statutes, and commandments. He give you a good woman. You know what I'm saying? Verse 4 is very powerful too.
Verse 4, whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart toward the Lord, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance.
So it don't matter if you're rich or you're poor, you got a good wife, brother, it's going to be all right. Y'all going to make lemonade out of lemons. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to make it work. So give honor and glory to the Most High, man. If you have a good wife, work with her. Sisters, you have a good husband, work with him. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Don't look at what's around you in the world and say, well, my husband ain't this, my husband ain't that. No, don't do that. Because it's not fair. He's not going to stack up because he doesn't have $1 million. He doesn't drive this. He doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? You're looking carnal. You got to look at it spiritual, right? But yeah, that's my last scripture. And with that, I'm going to end the class, brothers. Most I bless y'all. Anything else before we end?
I just want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Mashiach Yahweh the water for joining us, family. Great lesson out of one.
Great lesson out of one.
All praises. Barakatah Yahweh Bahashim Mashiach Yahweh. Most I bless y'all. Hey, leave a like and a comment. All right. Get ready for Sergeant Mike Alice class coming up right now. Shalom.
Right now, somebody is hating on you and me.